The Lord is my shepherd. 5 words that change everything. Psalm 23 and verse 1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. There are only 5 words before David tells us what follows. The Lord is my shepherd. Everything else in Psalm 23 flows from those 5 words. David doesn't begin with green pastures, and he doesn't begin with still waters, and he doesn't begin with protection. He begins simply with a relationship. If the Lord is not your shepherd, none of the remaining promises belong to you either. Our first word, the Lord. David identifies who the shepherd is. Not money, not government, not family, not ourselves. The shepherd is Jehovah God. So Jesus later identifies himself as that shepherd. In the book of John, chapter 10, verse 11, he says, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. This means Psalm 23 ultimately points us to Christ. Our second word is. Notice David doesn't say the Lord was or the Lord be. He says the Lord is. Present tense. God is your shepherd today. Whether life is calm or chaotic, he is still shepherd. Hebrews 13 verse 8 reminds us Jesus Christ the same yesterday and today and forever. Third word, my. This may be the most personal word in the verse. David doesn't merely say the Lord is a shepherd. He says the Lord is my shepherd. Faith is personal. Parents can't believe for you and grandparents can't believe for you. Church members alone doesn't make him your shepherd. Each person must choose to belong to him. Number 4, shepherd. In the Bible times, shepherds, they protected sheep. They fed the sheep. They guided the sheep. They searched for lost sheep, stayed with the sheep. Sheep are completely dependent upon the shepherd. Isaiah 53 and verse 6 says, all we like sheep have gone astray. Without the shepherd, sheep wander around. Without Christ, people wander spiritually as well. And number 5, the result, because those 5 words are true. I shall not want. Not because David became wealthy, not because life became easy, but because the shepherd supplied exactly what David needed. Paul echoes the same truth in the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 19. It says, but my God shall supply all your need according to his riches in glory by Jesus Christ. A beautiful progression. Notice how Psalm 23 unfolds. Because the Lord is my shepherd. He makes me lie down. He leads me. He restores me. He guides me. He walks with me. He comforts me. He prepares a table. He anoints me. He fills my cup. He follows me with goodness and mercy. He brings me home forever. Every blessing grows out of those first 5 words. So in my conclusion this morning, the world is looking for someone to follow. Some follow wealth. Some follow pleasure. Some follow fame. Some even follow themselves. But only one shepherd laid down his life for his sheep. Jesus said, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. John 10, verse 27. So the question isn't whether there is a shepherd. The question is, can you honestly say, the Lord is my shepherd? If you can, then you can walk confidently through every valley because you know who is leading you. I would add one final thought, though, that fits this whole thing well. Restoration and Christ's mission. The Bible begins with a garden where humanity had lost its shepherd through sin, Genesis 3. And it ends with the Lamb, who is also the shepherd, leading his people to the waters of life, Revelation chapter 7, verse 17. So from Genesis to Revelation, God's great work has been to bring wandering sheep back to himself through Jesus Christ. Thank you all. I want to thank you for allowing me into your space again this morning. And I hope that these words are encouraging to you this morning. And in the words of my friend Josh Stafford, as long as the blood is running warm in your veins, you do have an opportunity to change. So until next time, may God continue to richly bless you and keep you, Lord willing.